You know this saying that if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans? My plan was to move to the south of France, move into this apartment, all good. Then I found out that in order to set up my business, vegan sausages, in the best possible way, I'd have to set up that business as an American entity, not as a French entity. 1. B, this full-on French lockdown imposed upon us by this, in some way, idiot, Emmanuel Macron, forces me, if I stay here, to stay literally locked up all day long. For what? I can't even go out and meet people and tell them about my YouTube channel and give them, copies of the Bhagavad-Gita. If you haven't read the Bhagavad-Gita, you should read the Bhagavad-Gita. My best favorite editions are in the descriptions. So I've decided to bail. I am going to Zagreb. Fortunately, by God's mercy, I have a US passport, which means I can get out of France. So I have a friend in Zagreb who runs this really cool Bhakti Yoga Center, and so I'm gonna go there until further notice. Come with me. This morning I was actually meditating on a really important figure that's found in the book called the Srimad Bhagavatam. If you haven't read the Srimad Bhagavatam, I recommend you read the Bhagavad-Gita first. So in the Bhagavatam, one of the famous characters is this intergalactical personality called Narada Muni. And according to the Bhagavatam, he's like this sage who's like ageless and who just travels from planet to planet across the universe, literally playing on his stringed instrument called the Veena. And he's like, the liberated soul par excellence, we can say. And given that, I arrived here in Aix-en-Provence 3 weeks ago, I was in India before, now I'm driving to Dijon to spend the night at Ram Gopal's, and then I'll be going to Paris the next day, and the following night, that same night, I'll be going to the center of Paris to stay over at my niece's, and the next day I go to Zagreb, Croatia. I kind of identify a tiny bit, like microscopically, with Narada Muni. Do you like it? Huh? Vegan sausage. Okay. Say something to my YouTube friends. Come on, man. Come on. Allez. A short stop in Dijon. Ashram.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Some wise words from...
Wise. Oh my God. So everyone is welcome to a small Gokul ashram here in Dijon. So now is the lockdown, so it's like, and also for Kartik Math, so we are in a mood, but once again the lockdown is finished, then please come to visit us in Dijon. We have few beds where you can stay for a couple of days, and we have in the city our restaurant with many programs on kirtans, meditation, philosophical sharing. So please have a nice inner lockdown, and you say outer lockdown, say that. And Hare Krishna.
If you want my take on the US election, whoever's the most spiritual, and I know it may sound like stupid and reductionistic and oversimplified, but look, whoever is the most spiritual, the most dedicated to God, should get the vote. Trump is explicitly pro-life, and I'm pro-life. Trump protected churches from going under during COVID, like set up a rule so that religious institutions can go under due to the pressures of the COVID issue. He protected religious organizations from being forced to give donations or to give money to abortion clinics. In the Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says, Yad yad achariti shreshtas. Whatever a great man does, the rest of the world follows. And we have examples in the Bhagavatam and so on of righteous kings who, again, followed dharma, who were dharmic. I don't really get into politics that much, but for example, you have Modi. You can make fun of Modi all you want and criticize Modi all you want. I'm not that much into Indian politics, but the fact is that, again, he's abolished cow slaughter in so many states. He celebrates the birthday of Krishna. I mean, like straight up Krishna, Lord Krishna, not just God, but Krishna himself. So, in my opinion, whoever's closest to whoever's closest to devotion to God, and ideally whoever's closest to devotion to Lord Krishna, should be elected, should be the leader. Jesus, the airport is totally dead. I've never seen Charles de Gaulle so empty. What happened to planet Earth? You know, I don't know what to say. I'm just really not that inspired. Krishna in the Bhagavad-Gita says that this world is a place of suffering, a temporary place of suffering. And you know what? These days I try and kind of agree with him. I mean, forget COVID-19, the fact that we have to grow old, that our bodies give us suffering. It's a trip, you know? And then on top of that, add these sort of lockdowns and everybody in a bad mood and under extra anxiety because of this COVID propaganda, crisis, whatever you want to call it. It's just going through some pretty heavy times, huh? I always love playing at this piano whenever I pass through Terminal A in Charles de Gaulle Airport. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Merci, bon voyage.
Merci à vous.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Hare Krishna. Hello. My mom comes from Croatia. Well, she came from Croatia. So I always feel kind of good to. Uh-oh, I'm gonna do this with my luggage. Excuse me, are you going to the spiritual world?
I'm not sure yet.